it's me, Lil Bartholomew. Okay, I need there to be a rapper named Lil Bartholomew. Can someone do that? Iglooghost, aka Seamus. Second name, I'll put it on the screen because I don't fucking know it. It has 2 new EPs out titled Steel Mogu and Clear Tamei. Reviewed both of the EPs with the most hydrated music critic in the game himself, Liam the Music Reviewer. That's right, we got a fucking Liam out here. The review for Steel Mogu you can catch on his channel. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see that. However, the Clear Tamei EP is what will be reviewed today on this channel. So yeah, cool. I'm just gonna stop talking and let the review commence. I hope you enjoy watching it and stuff. Cool. See ya. Hello, what's up? Welcome to an Iglooghost review. This time, you know, it's me, Buffalo, and all that shit. I have Liam with me today, which is pretty cool. Hello, Liam. How are you doing, my man? You good?
Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm not bad. I'm hydrated and I'm ready to review.
Yeah, you are the water daddy, so can't expect any less. Yeah.
I can't argue with that name. I'll wear that title with pride.
For sure. Yeah. Is your favorite Adam Sandler movie The Waterboy? Can I ask?
Oh god, no, it's Jack and Jill actually.
Oh man, great choice. Hey, flawless masterpiece. But so yeah, we just reviewed Steel Mogu, which is the other Iglooghost EP. That's on Liam's channel. But here we're going to be doing the Clear Tamei or Tamei. I'm unsure on how you're supposed to pronounce these crazy Iglooghost words that he's come up with. But yeah, here we are. We're talking about the Clear Tamei EP. I must stick with Tamei. So yeah, Liam, we'll kick it off with you, man. What were your general thoughts on? Or your initial thoughts on Clear Tamei? Yeah.
My initial thoughts, I think, unlike with Steel Mogu, where like I was kind of like my opinion on that EP was like constantly changing. I think my initial thoughts and my overall thoughts now have been largely the same for me, and I think, and that's not to say that this is like an album that or a release that hasn't grown on me or that. I think it's so confident in its execution that it's. For me, it's not to compare. I do think this is like the best out of the two for me because while I feel like I feel like unlike the other EP, like that album kind of like finished on a bang, like it finished off really well. I think I can't remember what the name of the final track is just now off the top of my head.
Shrine Hacker, the big one, 7 minutes long.
Yeah, which it says that there's somebody on it, like Babby or something.
Yeah, there was like a vocalist.
Is that I was thinking that because I was like, this is another case where like not to compare Iglooghost to J. Cole, but I don't know if there's another case of like him going by like a different moniker and being like, oh, it's just the same person. But yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I feel like that song kind of killed it for me. I feel like I feel like it went on a bit too long.
It didn't need to be that long. I agree. Yeah.
Like I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having like a 7-minute, 8-minute long Iglooghost song. Yeah, but it's just on the very same EP, he shows that he can like have just this constant like changing and shifting song.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, for, like 2 or 3 different stages in like 4 minutes. So like when you see a 7-minute long song, you're thinking to yourself, oh, it's gonna be like an epic. Like it's gonna have like so many different
on
like
paper,
chapters.
In theory, an 8-minute long Iglooghost track is like fucking mental. So to see a song like that song had some really sick ideas going on. Like I liked how there seemed to be like a pan flute at one point that kind of popped in with like this weird buzzy synth. It sounded kind of cool. There was some there were some musical ideas I could get down with, but it just seemed like a bit of an unprogressive song that didn't really justify its length too well. And the initial drop too didn't really have a very satisfying build up either. I noticed. I just thought that initial drop was like it was kind of jarring in a bit of an awkward way as opposed to like a this is jarring in like a whoa holy shit Iglooghost is crazy type of way. It was just more a bit. Yeah, it was a bit clunky to me at points. It just didn't seem like a very progressive track for its length. And the Babby, the vocalist, she didn't really bring anything to the track that I haven't heard before. She just had like a soft, high-pitched voice. And, he often incorporates like high-pitched vocal samples. Like, she didn't really add anything new to an Iglooghost song that we hadn't heard before. So it seemed like a bit of a misstep generally.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Cause I feel like even on this EP... I don't know if I can say like without a doubt that it's my favourite song that Iglooghost has done, but New Vectors was just it's such a lush, beautiful.
I love that.
Everything. It's just totally awe-inspiring, and it has vocals like incorporated into it, and they're these. I don't know if it's the same vocalist if like she just kind of like gets more of a credited role this time around because like she's in it for more of a fair bit. But oh my god, the vocals on here just like they're all incorporated so well. It feels like so much is going on where like it could be like it could come across as messy.
Yeah, it all feels really cleanly mixed and everything though. To me, those songs never they're overwhelming, but not in like in a way where it sounds too unbelievably and comprehensively busy. It's all pretty well ordered. It's organized, I think.
It's not like a YouTube poop or like an MLG kind of thing where like it's just like there's like 5 different components and they're just all like meshed together and like this like horrible mess. It's so calculated, but not in a way where it feels like
it feels clean.
It always has that urgency going on, so you're constantly just. I get lost for words here because like it's just totally awe-inspiring.
It's really difficult to describe some of the shit. I agree.
Like it's just like it's almost like you can like see the colors and you can like see just like what he visualized here. It's just it's just like that song in particular is just utterly gorgeous.
I love that.
And the title track, Clear Tamei itself, is just like Iglooghost. Like to be fair, Steel Mogu has more of like hip hop production. Like if you were going to imagine like they get Danny Brown on that, you can imagine that being like you can imagine that being like a hip hop beat or that. Whereas this is more like him like going about trying like he's rapping in like a made up language and that I don't really know what he's called or that. But like it's super interesting. Like even though he's talking what is basically like utterly gibberish to us, you can imagine like this being like how like folklore and that would be like discussed.
This whole EP felt like some weird like interdimensional ritual or something with like the howling vocals and the chanting weird like fucking lyrics that make no sense and just like and how like I felt like these songs they were way more like kind of opulent and gorgeous and like life affirmingly beautiful and shit and with all these melodies and stuff and there's so many strings too which give it so much like what's the word I'm looking for? Like it feels like it has more just life to it. Like I mean, Steel Mogu is more kind of like harsh and brutal in its presentation, whereas this feels a lot more kind of almost organic, even though it still is all very synthetic. You know, I feel like the characters come to life a little bit more on this album, maybe on this EP, and I thought the instrumental palette was like he seemed to be incorporating some brand new shit on this EP, like on Nama. He had like that electric guitar solo shit. You remember that? Like kind of squealing electric guitar thing. That was
and the baby.
Really, that too.
Fucking baby vocals. It's such a weird element, and it shouldn't work because I could see that like if like say you got given that and you're just kind of like do some of this, you'd be like I can't use this. This
exactly.
Is like, it's just gonna be so great and
he
but
pulls
it feels
it off.
like
it's so seamlessly in his sound. I agree. Yeah.
It just feels like he's kind of. You could maybe read it and not to go like Spectrum Pulse here, but you could like read it as like him like giving new life to sound like that whole like baby cries meant to like representing that, and with everything that he's incorporating to it as well, you could definitely read it as like this is kind of like the evolution of that neo wax plume sound. It's not such a huge leap that you're gonna go like, oh, is this like you could have saw him bringing this out last year or that, but I still think that like it doesn't like that shouldn't like undermine just how like glorious this release is. The last song, this just like nearly front to back, just so exciting.
Yeah, I
listen
agree.
to like you know what I mean? When you know that when like you hear at least, and you're probably the same because like you dabble in electronic music, like you make it as well. So like it must just be so exciting to like see how you can create these sort of like soundscapes.
When I hear this, I'm like trying to map out how the fuck this is possible. Like I'm like thinking like if I was sat down on Logic Pro X on my software. How would I approach trying to make something like this? Like this is fucking crazy, and I think this album feels more like a journey than Steel Mogu did. I think because I think just like you said with New Vectors, how it starts off with that kind of xylophone, and then it kind of joins with that like low piano, which just fills it up and makes it sound really pretty, and then the way it transitions to like those kind of darker parts of the song, and then there's really thick like. There was some really like because obviously Iglooghost like the bass tones he uses are so just like thick and like rough and harsh and full. On this EP, like the textures he built was so wide and they just completely like dominated the track when they came in on New Vectors and on Nama especially when that baby voice starts like chanting and then the bass drops in. It's fucking giant. It's monolithic. I can't fathom how he manages to build these huge walls of just like. Fucking provocative bass, and they sound intimidating and fucking crazy, but it always feels, again, like you said, like awe-inspiring at the same time. It's a real wild ride, and I agree that Shrine Hacker is probably the weakest cut. But again, I still think there were some cool instrumental ideas there. I can pull sections away from that song that I thought were pretty entertaining, and his sense of melody is just fantastic. Like, this was a lot more melodic than Steel Mogu, which I think plays to his strengths a little bit more. Shrine Hacker just needed to be cut down. I think maybe the Babby feature could have been used in a more exciting way to propel Iglooghost sound into some territory we've never seen before. But it seemed like she was just kind of being used in the same way like a sample would be used by Iglooghost. So it just kind of seemed like more of the same type of stuff. But yeah, Clear Tamei, New Vectors, and Nama were all brilliant in my opinion.
Oh god,
so,
yeah.
That's how.
And even the intro track, like again, like they're only like 30-40 seconds long on each release, but they don't feel like it's just kind of like an artificial to add time to it. Like, it does feel like it always feels like on either release that it's building up to something.
I agree.
And whereas with like Steel Mogu, it's trying to get you into that whole perspective of like this is just such like a desolate
exactly
full of despair. This is like it feels like just like a forest or something, just like so like full
I
of
hear
life,
that.
just everything. Even though for me like when it gets to Clear like the title track about halfway through, it feels like these like two different worlds start to like mesh into one. And maybe that was the whole point. This could be like some sort of plot point of how, this is how we get the land of Neo Wax Bloom.
I see what you're saying, because I remember in Clear Tamei when it starts off and you have those really pretty strings and like the piano comes in and then it like breaks into that like bustling crazy beat. Yeah. I noticed that like buried down like beneath the crazy drums and the fucking flute that's going off.
There's always some sort of like beautiful element there, like they're trying to like coexist, and it works.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. And on top of that, I heard like this really growly kind of bass note that I think he might have also used on Night Racer. So that kind of reminds me maybe that it's like the two worlds are coming together in a pretty coherent way, you know. So I dig that a lot. I think that's really cool. And generally I would say, and like you were saying about the intro tracks. To me, it kind of feels like those intro cuts are just kind of like opening the door and looking into what the world of this EP is, and it's just all like,
that's a really wonderful kind of like.
Yeah. It's like presenting you what the general tone is for this EP. Like with like you said, it's more desolate on Steel Mogu. It's more kind of opulent on Clear Tamei. So it's like just kind of letting you know, just like you're peering into what this fucking crazy universe is that Iglooghost has created. So. I think this EP is fantastic. I think the main problem is just with the final track being too long and the feature not really being used in the most exciting ways. And I do think that with those middle three tracks, New Vectors, Clear Tamei, and Nama, I do also feel like they reach their intense peaks, all three of them, in the middle of the song. Yeah. And structurally, they're all kind of the same, even though musically they have a lot of differences. So that's one thing I guess I could complain about, but generally I'm really pleased with this EP a lot. I'd give it an 8 out of 10 personally.
Yeah, again, not to. I'd be saying like I'd lean more towards like a strong 8 for me, and it's only really the final track where I'm just kind of a bit disappointed by it. But even then, like you say, like it feels like a car or something. The car's like a bit broken, but like there's probably bits from it you can take away from and be like, hey, there's like some work to be found here.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's definitely the stronger release out of the two. But it just had me like super excited to see how, not only like from the kind of outer perspective of like how he builds on all this lore and that, but just how he manages to keep improving his whole sound, because
his production quality just seems to get stronger with each release.
He's just getting so confident. Like his live shows are going to be kind of like incorporating all these new elements. It's not just going to be him with his his usual setup. He's going to have like all these characters on board, like visuals in the background. It feels like he had this sort of idea when he was 18, when he was doing Chinese New Year, and now he's like bit by bit, he's getting more confident, he's working on it.
Yeah, and he's really expanding it a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of the most exciting acts to have came out of the UK. I don't know what bit of Ireland he's from, so I don't know if he's UK, but like for now, like, or like even just in general, like one of the most like exciting like young acts around just now. Every time I see his name pop up,
nothing else sounds like this, man. This shit's one of a kind, which is really, really special.
Kind of just totally extraterrestrial. Just kind of like feels like. Feel like the meteor landed, like this would be kind of like the music you'd like if it had any, like that's what you find. It just feels.
It doesn't sound like it's from fucking Earth at all. Like
not at all. But I think that's just what makes it so good. But I'd be in the same boat. 8 out of 10 here. Like just one of the best EPs I've heard this year, definitely. Without a shadow of a doubt.
All right, awesome. Well, that's the review then. Thank you very much for coming on, Liam. This has been fucking great.
Thank you for having me, man.
No sweat, man.
So happy to help out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this has been awesome.